Hello YouTube. So I wanted to make a video about busking and give some tips for people getting into busking. So today we have 8 tips. Number 1, the most important, have fun. Play music because you love music and you want to share music with the world. When you focus on that, you'll see that the energy will be returned to you. And it seems like magic. People will feel like they need to tip you because you're putting out good vibes. If you focus too much on trying to make money and your attention is focused on that, then your intention is not as pure with the music. And it's beyond words. Like, people can feel when they just feel the music differently. Tip number 2, clear out your case regularly. Some buskers will prefer to leave lots of money in the case to show people passing by that they're receiving tips, and to some degree it has a perception that you're doing well, so people psychologically want to tip. There's some truth to that, but I think it's better to just leave a little bit of cash, not much, but just enough so people know you actually are receiving tips if they're not familiar with how the etiquette of busking works. And the reason for this is you don't want to tempt desperate people. When I had first got into busking, I actually, had someone steal from my case directly. And, it's relatively common sense, but when you're in the zone playing your music, sometimes you're not thinking about that. So just be vigilant and clear out your case regularly, but leave a couple bucks in there so people know that you're accepting tips. And on the note of, if you do get into a situation where someone stole from you, just remember it's just money at the end of the day, and it's not worth your safety to be trying to get into a conflict with someone stealing money from you. It's just not worth it. Number 3, pack all the essentials. So that includes water. If you're a guitar player, guitar strings, 9-volt batteries if it's a guitar that has a pickup, mic stand, a battery powered amp, the cables you need, whether it's XLR or 1/4 inch, microphone, of course, portable battery if you need to provide extra power to pedals, or if you want to charge your cell phone, and a hand truck. So I can show you some of the gear that I have in a moment so that you get an idea of some of these things, especially the hand truck. Here's my hand truck. I got a heavy duty one because I walk around town a lot, and I had one before that was had like small wheels like a shopping cart. It was a lot cheaper, but the wheels broke down eventually, depending on how much you're playing. But these ones are, on your cart you can kind of be clever and hang your mic stand off of it. These bungee cords are handy to strap on your gear. Here I have my amp strapped on to my cart. As you can see, this cart is really broken down because I play a lot. There's a bird shit on my amp yesterday and I haven't cleaned it. The battery. I mentioned portable battery. This rock solar one, it's pretty handy. It's small, and I've been able to keep my pedals powered for a while. Like I said, you can charge your cell phone too if you need that. And then, obviously my bag. I didn't say this earlier, but having a tarp is also helpful, or a bag that you can cover your gear in if it's going to be raining wherever you are, if you're walking around. Tip number 4, make a sign that has a QR code so that you can accept tips digitally. There's a website called busk.co that is pretty handy. They are affiliated with Stripe, and Stripe is a pretty well-known payment processing company. I believe their transactions do take between 1% and 2%. I'm not 100% sure, but it is a small percentage. But it's good to have the QR code, because I find you want to provide options for people to be able to tip you. Not everyone has cash. Cash is still the most dominant form of tipping because people are usually on the go. They don't have time to stop for a second, but they want to show their appreciation for your music. So they still will use cash. But occasionally I find people will use my QR code. You could also invest in a Square reader for tap. I do have that as well, but I find it doesn't get used that often. Simply, at least for my software for Square, I have to actually program each transaction individually. People aren't just gonna, or people can't just walk by and just tap. And if you think about it from their perspective, it would be a little odd. You wouldn't actually, there's a bit of a safety issue for them if they're walking by and they're just gonna tap some random thing without knowing how much it's gonna charge. So it's just a bit clumsy. So cash and QR code so far seem to be the most efficient. I do know some buskers that also leave a sign with their email for accepting e-transfers. Tip number 5, know the busking bylaws in your city. If there are licensed programs available in your city that you can sign up for or audition, I would suggest doing that. In my experience, it feels pretty good to be part of a community of buskers in a program. And I have a lot of peace of mind knowing that, I'm allowed to busk and I'm not breaking too many rules. So if there are licensed programs, go ahead and sign up. For example, where I'm from in Vancouver, there's a number of city streets where you don't need a license. So it's good to know where those are. If you're worried about being hassled, so you can just go to one of those spots. It's important to know about noise bylaws, because if you want to avoid getting in trouble, don't go busking with your amp cranked to 10 at 11 p.m. at night. So for obvious reasons, you're going to wake people up. So know the noise time frames and try to respect those. Ultimately, the more respectful you can be as a busker, it's good. You're not going to get kicked out, and then it just creates a good environment for other buskers as well. Number 6, go to the bathroom before you start your set, because you're going to be drinking water to stay hydrated for your voice, which might also make you have to go to the bathroom. And if that happens early in your set, well, if there's no one there to help you and watch your stuff, you're going to have to leave your spot. Number 7. Tip number 7, be kind. You want to really keep everything civil. Sometimes it can get competitive because people are, obviously doing this to earn money, and people can become very protective or defensive over their spots and things like this. But, be kind, be fair, and, if you're in a part of a program, it's okay to, just stick within what the rules allow for, so that you're not causing conflict. Tip number 8, smile at passerbys. A smile is contagious. A lot of times people are busking, they're in their zone, they might be having a bad day, so if they feel your good music and they get a smile, you can really uplift some people. On that note, acknowledging people who tip you, whether it's, say you're playing a song, you can just give them some eye contact, you can smile, you can nod. If you're able to stay in time and you want to say thank you, you can say thank you and then continue playing your song. But if you want to just obviously maintain the flow of your song, then simply one of the other options I mentioned are good. Honestly, just play music that you truly love. Don't try to cater to the masses. That is sometimes the game of busking. You feel like you want to, just play hits and cater because you're, trying to earn money, if that's your goal. I have found that it's just more wholesome to play music that you love, and it'll resonate. All right, thanks for checking out these tips. If you have any comments or feedback, feel free to leave it. Thanks for checking out this video. If you have any comments or if you found it helpful, I would love to hear your feedback. Let me know below. Peace.